Hey, what's up everybody? Just doing a little update video on a bug out vehicle that I'm doing. Probably not the bug out vehicle that you guys are expecting to see. Mostly when you say bug out vehicle, you're referring to, a car or, a Jeep or a truck or something like that, stocked with gas and supplies and food, medical stuff, everything you're going to need to, get out of town quick. This is my fail-safe vehicle. It's going to be for, if something were to happen and we need to get out of town quick, these are going to go on our vehicle. I'm going to strap 2 of these bikes. They're not finished yet. One's going to be for me, one's going to be for my wife. And then each one of those bikes is going to have a kid carrier on the back. And because we've got 2 kids, and they're fairly small, so they can't ride bikes or, they can't move as fast as we can. So basically what I'm doing is just a little video on this. As you can see over in the corner, I still haven't even finished my indoor growing greenhouse. That thing got put on hold because, I'm always doing research on YouTube on other greenhouses and the way people do theirs, and so I've gotten so many more different ideas for this greenhouse. It's probably going to be reconstructed and done differently. Talked with a few YouTubers and just got their opinions on what they would do. If you don't know, I have a small house. It's just a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, but it's really small. It's not very big at all, so there's not a lot of room to do anything. And I live in the desert, so using my garage as a greenhouse is probably not an option because here in about another 2 weeks, it's going to be in the hundreds here. So it's already in the 90s, low 90s, 95 is what it was a couple of days ago. So it's pretty hot out here, and using the garage is not an option. It's going to be way too hot. As you can see, I'm a contractor. I do carpentry and construction and everything like that. So I've got this garage full of tools. It's got all my stuff that I use for my work. And then I got to fit our family van in here. So greenhouse inside the garage is not optional. So that's why I started this indoor greenhouse thing. I was going to put it in our living room, small little spot. It'll fit perfect. But like I said, I'm going to reconstruct it. It's going to get done way different. So yeah, back to the vehicle. What I did was I went with bicycles for, kind of like a last resort. And I've been working on this bike for a few days now, and I'm pretty proud of it because, I got it at the thrift store. I got 2 matching bikes. They were older bikes, but they were in very good condition, and they're very expensive bikes. They were, older bikes, but they were expensive in their day. So, and I picked them up for $25. I mean, you can't beat that. 2 bikes for $25 at a thrift store. They were in great condition. They come from Canada with some, tourists that, they have 2 homes and they come down here and they live. And they just dropped them off at the thrift store, at the Goodwill. I think it was the Goodwill, yeah. And so picked it up from there for $25. And you can't beat that with a stick. I mean, very solid bike, way better than the ones you'd get at Walmart, or something like that. And it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort to, restore it back into condition. I've got it midnight black. Obviously I'm a prepper, so I'm thinking, concealment and, inconspicuous if I ever have to use these things. God forbid I don't. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. What I did was, these were bright red bikes. I mean, they were just high gloss, bright red bikes. And took them apart, painted them black, put everything back together. So that's what I'm going to be using. I got just your basics. Got the attachable air pump. Got a bag in the back. I'm going to have, small bike tools to fix the bike, flats, inner tubes. Got a bike lock. In the front, I'm going to put right here on the handlebars, it's going to go another small little pouch that's going to have a first aid kit, and some other supplies. Got a water bottle, holder, just your basic bike, you know. I mean, if worst comes to worst, you know, there's no access to gasoline, and you drive your original bug out vehicle as far as you can drive it, and you run out of gas, and you've used up all your gas reserves and everything. I mean, what else are you gonna do? You know, this sure as hell beats walking. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. I mean, shit could hit the fan at any time, and if you're not prepared as far as gas, you know, say you're coming home from work one day and something happens, something major happens, and, you know, you only got a quarter tank of gas in your vehicle because, you know, you're not thinking about it and it just slipped your mind, and you don't have a full tank of gas, and say you only have, you know, 10 gallons worth of gas saved up. I mean, how far are you going to go with that? 10 gallons plus a quarter tank, yeah, you're going to get about 100 miles, 150 miles. Some people, that's a far distance, you know, oh, I can go 100 miles or whatever. Maybe not even that, you know, maybe 80 miles, whatever. Then what are you going to do? You know, you're going to lug your family by foot? I think this is a little better option. I'd rather have a bicycle than walk on my feet, you know. So, like I said, I'm going to do 2 of these bikes. They're going to be identical. Actually, they might not be identical because the other bike, I bought 2 of these bikes and they're identical, like I said. But the other one I tore apart because it was in a little rougher condition than this one. This one was in really excellent condition, so that's why I chose to do this one. So I'm going to either put that bike back together, and buy some new parts, or I'm just going to use it for a parts bike for this bike. You know, take the brake pads off and take all the parts that would break and put them in this bike, or use them and keep them with this bike in case something happens. So that's kind of where I'm at with the bicycle situation. Like I said, I'm not finished with it, and there are going to be a couple more things that go onto this bike, and then I'm going to attach these bikes. Actually, I'm not going to attach them. They're going to go off in the garage. They're going to hang up, you know, somewhere in the garage, somewhere. I'm going to hang them. And, you know, if we ever have to get out of town, I just throw them on the truck, you know, throw them inside the back of the truck, and we're off. And that's pretty much it for the update for the greenhouse and some new information on my bug out vehicle. And like I said, anybody can do these bicycles for so cheap. I mean, you don't have to think, oh man, I want to do a bike, but I don't have $200 or $300. I mean, how much have I got in this bike? I got $25 for the bike. I got $8 for the little bag behind the seat. I got another $10 in the bike pump, the air pump. $5 for the lock, and I got about $5 in spray paint. I mean, and then plus my time and effort. And all I'm going to do extra is buy the kid carrier, $40 at Walmart. A little sack in the front, $10. So what is that? Not even $100. So less than $100. You know, and multiply that by 2. So less than $200. Around 160, 170 is where I got it. And I'll have 2 nice bug out vehicles. You know, last resort bug out vehicles. You know, and when these fail, which shouldn't be, you know, bikes will go forever as long as you maintain them and, you know, keep the inner tubes good. They'll last forever, you know. Bikes are pretty resilient. I mean, this bike is probably from at least the 60s. I mean, it's an older bike. It's an older style. It's an older racing style bike. Maybe not the 60s. I'm probably exaggerating. But, you know, it's definitely from at least the 80s. You know, that's, what, 80s? That's 20-some years ago, and it's still going strong, so pretty good shelf life. All right, if you guys have any questions or any comments, definitely leave them. I'm always open for suggestions. Thanks.